So you've done a brilliant thing there by giving people access to all that, and you're your own company now. It seems is
That's
that
right,
right?
yeah, and this is just another journey that I've been on since we put the Halford site up on the World Wide Web a few years ago. I think I was able to kind of grasp that concept of touching people through the internet, just as it was really going mainstream. Of course, we were still kind of getting over the hurdle of the Napster and the Kazaa worlds, with the illegal file sharing and so forth. But I think I and a lot of other people knew it would settle down eventually, which appears to be doing so. And so yeah, from basically a pretty straightforward website, the robhalford.com, we've now really displayed the power of that medium. And yes, we've got the record company with through Metal God Entertainment, and the online music store, which is where you can get the whole package of CDs, or pick one track at a time, however it benefits and works for you. The consumer now is just more in control than ever, than in the early days when we started in metal, when it was all the old days of the vinyl.
Right.
And the record companies were pretty much dictating where music would go and so on and so forth. And now, of course, it's pretty much role reversal, and the consumers in charge of where they want to go and what they want to pick for choice in not only music but in every other element. Movies and music videos, whatever. That's why we're so happy to be associated with Apple iTunes. They're a great company that is leading the world really in all areas of media download. So it's a great place to be.
Right. Well, I don't know if you've been able to take any stock in yet, but what does it look like has been, the most popular thing that kids are doing, or that anyone's going to the site for? Is it stuff that was unreleased before that's brand new now, or are they going as much for the old classical titles, like Resurrection Remastered?
Well, it's amazing really, because you've got the hardcore fans that'll gobble up everything.
Right.
They just want to keep everything on the front burner. The hardcore fans are of that kind of temperament, and they're so emotionally attached to what I do, and that's great. And then, of course, you get a cross section of people that are only interested in the more recent releases, or the previously unreleased tracks, for example, that are on a combination of pieces that we have out now. And I think the one area that's kind of leading the way is the Metal Gods Essentials Volume 1, which have a couple of the new tracks on, Forgotten Generation and Dropout. And so yeah, it's kind of mixed. It's like a big, it's like a banquet. You can just kind of go and pick and choose whatever your needs may be. So it's kind of very, very broad based, which is okay. And I'm just happy that we've got an enormous amount of traffic 24/7 going through via the portals of Halford.com, and people are just having a great time with picking a song, picking a video, getting the whole deal, or whatever they want to choose. These releases that are out there now essentially came from the deal that I had with Sanctuary Records some years ago.
Right.
And I was able to write a check.
Oh yeah, that's right. You bought them back.
Get all of that back, yeah. Which really kind of gave impetus to the moment of where I'm at now. I got all my music back, and I'm thinking, well, where can I go and what can I do with it? And I went to several record companies, and at the end of the day, I thought, no, I think I'm just going to control this. I'm going to look after it the way I feel I want it to be looked after, and give it that kind of just a feeling of knowing that everything that's being done for me by the people that work for me have got the best intentions at heart. So that's what we've done with all of that previous material. But there is this great record that was on Trent Reznor's label, Interscope, Nothing Records through Interscope. And the thing is, that music came out differently to how it was really intended. The basic music is it's a lot heavier than the final outcome that I enjoyed with Trent and Dave Ogilvy from Skinny Puppy. I thought they did an incredible job, but I still want the opportunity to let the fans hear the concept of the original recordings, which were very straightforward, very rock metal oriented. So yes, we're working on that. We're going through the legalese of it all. I can't quite figure it out actually, because in my mind I've got, I should have ownership of the original recordings, but just because it's immersed in the legalese of things, we've got to try to separate the original recordings from the recordings that eventually went on to be so incredibly treated by Trent and Rave Ogilvy. So we're just having to wait and see, but I would like to share them, just because it's just interesting to hear and compare the two sides of the coin, so to speak, from the original demo recordings to how they finally came out.
Right.
So yeah, I'll when that becomes real, we'll let everybody know through the website.
When you decided to go back and put stuff out, you put out the Halford stuff, but you went back to the Fight stuff as well, the material. But now, please correct me if I'm wrong, this is all re-recorded, or are these demos?
Yeah, there's a combination, David. We have a release called K5, which was the name of the band before I came up with the Fight name, because we were just like, we had a band but we didn't have a name.
Right.
So we were kind of working under the K5 moniker for a while. So those are out now, those original early demos that were previously unreleased. They're on a separate release through halfordmusic.com and Apple iTunes. And then there are I think there's 2 or 3 new Fight tracks on the Metal God Essentials Volume 1. So that was just a really important moment for me, because I was away from Priest for the first time in a very, very long time, and I had a lot of things I wanted to kind of get out, and that whole first release, War of Words, was a very cathartic moment for me, and I think you can sense that in the music. So there's a combination again of either the early demos, some new previously unreleased Fight stuff, and then hopefully towards the end of this year we're going to get this Fight DVD movie release, which is basically, we had cameras with us wherever we went, right from auditioning the early Fight members to writing, recording, touring, playing shows. We've got this coming out in an incredibly interesting and entertaining kind of retrospective rockumentary kind of a deal that should be out hopefully sometime later this year. I think that if I look back at the time I was away from Priest, I was able to accomplish a lot of things, and I think that by the time I returned to Priest, I was a much more kind of content person artistically. And now, of course, I've got the best of both worlds, because I'm back with the band that I love the most, Judas Priest, but I've also got the opportunity to still put out these other pieces that are important to me as a writer. I'd still need the outlet away from Priest to do other endeavours musically, and that's what I'm able to do with the Halford band. Independently with the Halford band, more than anything from a lyrical point of view, I'm able to say some things that I wouldn't ordinarily be able to say in Priest. I think I can just be a little bit more, I don't know, adventurous, if that's the word, just more social, political, have more real-time, real issue, world events brought out through my lyrics, which I would never do in Priest, because that's just Priest is a different animal. And I see things going on around me in the world, and like anybody, I react, and I'm able to kind of let my feelings be known through through the avenue of the Halford band.